Alright guys, what's up? It's Dr. Trey here. I know it's been a little while since I've posted a video. Haven't really posted any videos. I don't even know the last time I posted a video. It was a long time ago. Probably from the last adjustment I ever did at the Y-strap doc with my buddy Tyler. I just wanted to hop on here, kind of make a little video of what's been going on, what happened, what's unfolded with the Y-strap doc ATL office, because I have a lot of people that have reached out to me. They've been getting a hold of me, Google me. They've been trying to find me at my new office. I had zero contact with anybody else from the old office. I'll get into that a little bit more. But basically, just wanted to hop on here and kind of share my side of things, what happened, what's going on, where I'm at, where you can find me. But yeah, probably one of the tougher years recently, just with professionally. It was a rough year going into probably like July of last year into August. Just a lot of things snowballed and it was pretty rough. But definitely have a good support system. Want to thank my friends, my family, just all that. Yeah, I don't know. It was a rough time, but we're here. We made it. But let's hop into things here. Just talking about what happened last year. Let's go back to July. So working July, I started there 3 years ago in August. So I was like, oh, I'm coming up on my 3 years at this office. I'm running the show. At this point, there's very little contact with Dr. Joe. It was all like through his sister-in-law who ran the front desk. At that point, it was just like I'd show up to work. What I'd see that day was what I'd see. Didn't really have any access to even the schedule. It was like tough to see. They would send me a picture of the schedule screenshot in the morning. Here's what's on the books for today. I would show up at that time. So getting into my third year of practice, or going into my third year, I was kind of at the point where I need to get the ball rolling. I would love to have my own practice or kind of work towards something like that. So July 13th, I was like, oh, I'm going into my third year. I started in August. I was like, the lease has to be coming up or renewed, something along those lines. So I went up to the front leasing office at the location, talked to the lady. I'm like, yeah, I was just wondering how long the lease is for the Y-strap doc ATL. She's like, oh, Y-strap doc? You work down there? And I was like, yeah, that's me. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to get a hold of your boss, Dr. Joe, for the past few months. He won't return any emails, calls, nothing. We've been trying to get a hold of him. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's up? She goes on to tell me that our lease is up at the end of the month, July 31st. We're missing a quarter's worth of rent. That he only paid every quarter. So that was the beginning of the thing there. So fast forward, I'm talking to her. I'm like, all right, so what do I need to do? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to get a hold of your boss, so it's up to him. So I reach out to Dr. Joe, shoot him a text. Finally, I was like, hey, coming up on 3 years, I was wanting to know what the plan is moving forward. Like, I'm kind of dragging my feet here. I want to have a little bit more stake in something. He replies back with, oh, can't believe it's been 3 years. Wow. Doesn't say anything after that. So I'm freaking out at this point. It's July 13th. Lease is up July 31st. What am I going to do? So I'm trying to think of a plan B to get us out of the situation. So I kind of just talk with my wife. We go over some stuff. She's like, well, you need to look for a job or figure something out. So a week goes by, I think a week, something like that. July 21st is my day off. I wake up, Dr. Joe texts me, hey, are you available to talk? I would love to discuss some things with you. So I'm like, yeah. He gives me a call. So we're talking, he's like, hey, how you doing? Man, can't believe it's been 3 years since you've been working at the office. That's crazy. Can't believe it. He's like, so the leasing office they just called me to let me know that, the lease is up at the end of the month. Man, I had no idea. I'm like, bro, I've known about this for 8 days now, and now we're talking about it. Here we go. Strap in. After that, he was like, so I want you to be able to own your own office. Like, I just really want to set you up for success, this and that. And I'm like, oh, well, this sounds great, because that was kind of what I was shooting for. But I'm like, yeah, I would love to hear what the offer is, what I could do. So we talk a little bit. He's talking about maybe taking over the lease, but it would have to be through my business, LLC. I would have to just take over everything. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I could work on a price. I was like, well, I don't exactly have a bunch of money to throw into a business right now. It's kind of late notice here. And I've already known about this for eight days now. Still super late notice for me to just up and buy a business, especially looking at things from a standpoint where I don't even know what the numbers look like. I had no access to anything. So I was like, yeah, that'd be great. Can you send over financials? I need to see everything that goes into the business, what it's going to cost over time. He's like, yeah, I'll get all that stuff together. He's like, you could honestly just run it by yourself and not have the front desk and just do all appointments through your website or whatever, however you want to do it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And he's like, I could sell it to you or offer it to you for $20,000 over a 6-month period with a $5,000 down payment. And I was like, yeah, you got to send me some paperwork. I got to see numbers. This sounds too good to be true. Also, I have 9 days, 10 days to figure this out. So he was really set on the $5,000 down payment. So I was like, that sounds great. Let's follow up. Send me all the paperwork, all the financials. I just need to take a look over everything with my wife. We'll go over it and discuss. He's like, oh, great. That sounds awesome. He's like, maybe you could reach out to the leasing people and see what you have to do about the lease. I was like, all right. So I reach out to another guy in the front at the leasing department. He's like, oh yeah, you're at this office. You have a back pay. You owe your monthly dues for your rent. I don't even know if the leasing company will lease the office to you just because you've already been attached to that name. It's not looking great for you just because you didn't pay the rent. He didn't pay the rent on time. Wasn't like upfront with how he was running things, I guess. And the guy was like, and you'll have to pay the balance due on the lease. And I was like, oh, what's the balance then if we got a quarter's worth of rent due? $5,000 is how much the office owed to get out, to finish off the lease, not even start a new lease. So that goes back to the $5,000 down payment that he wanted to take over the office. And then he sends me some screenshots of the business. The lease in the Atlanta office is coming to an end. Can't believe 3 years has gone by so fast. You've been running the office and seeing all the patients. I'm busier in Florida. My main focus is here. ATL has been grossing so-and-so amount for the past 3 years as a part-time office. Potential is so much more, but my focus isn't there. This is all from an email he sent me after we talked. That's why I think you'd be the best fit to take the practice over and grow it into what it truly could be. You have a 3-year start with established patients. I'm in contact with leasing, and I could technically transfer it to your LLC. You'd re-sign a new lease with my LLC information. I'll also provide documents for the past 3 years. And then he said he'd be contacting patients, emailing them, letting them know a new booking site. Any calls that come in, transfer them my way. I'd also send up an updated list of contacts in the Atlanta office for you to start reaching out as well, touching base. You would basically be taking over the practice with the equipment, furniture in the office as it is. Breakdown of everything would be in total $20,000. $5,000 up front with the remainder $15,000 spread over 6 consecutive months at $2,500 a month. Grow this practice huge and enjoy, well deserved. That's the email he sent me. Then he sent me some screenshots of like financials. Very basic. It's like gross sales, documents, total sales, gift cards, taxes, net, all this stuff, like graphs. Makes it look amazing. Oh, this is a big money thing. So I give all this information to my wife. She's like the business side of things. She's the boss in the family. So I give all this stuff to her. I'm like thinking this sounds great. She comes back to me that night and I'm like, so what do you think? Should we follow through with this? If we could pull it off, it'd be a good opportunity. She's like, yeah, we're not gonna do this at all. I looked through everything. There's no way that this office is making any money. She's like, I don't know how they're paying you and the front desk lady. The past like 4 months in this office or 6 months was just not great. So she tells me that, and I'm like, all right, well, looks like we gotta figure something else out here. I gotta get a new job lined up, figure out something in the next 10 days. So I'm scrambling to figure out the office situation or where I'm gonna work. And they're telling me we're not gonna tell the patients up until, because they think I'm still like taking over the office, up until probably like into August. So we ran the lease into August and just stayed in the office because he was like, well, we have these patients booked up until like August 10th or 12th or something like that. So let's just finish out. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll finish out. In the meantime, I'm talking with my new job or my new boss where I work now. And I'm like, yeah, I think this office is gonna close down. I need a job after like August 16th is when I'm ready to start. So just kind of rolled that job into, I started August 16th, and I think the last day at the Y-strap dock was August 12th. I took a weekend off and started at my new job on that Tuesday. But I finally, once I secured this new job, I kind of let Dr. Joe know that I wasn't gonna go through with the deal. I was kind of just washed my hands clean. I just didn't want to do it. But I was digging through some stuff, especially the screenshots that he sent me. That was where I found out all the extra stuff. As I looked deeper into it, I was just scrolling down the list, and it's like net gross sales, this, that. Lower level, it says tips. So I start looking in each year that he sent me a print off, and each year there was a certain amount of tips that I had received that I had never received. Had never been notified that there were tips that up until probably the last month, I had a patient ask me, hey, are you getting those tips that I've been giving you? And I was like, what tips? And they're like, oh, we tip you like $40 every time we come in here, twice a month. I'm like, I had no idea about that. So I dig into the paperwork that he sent me or the screenshots, and there's like 3 years of just tips. So I'm like, got to figure this out. And then I finally was just like, messaged him one day, and I was like, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy the office. It's just not going to play out how I wanted it to. I just looked over some of the numbers. I just can't pull it. He's like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. I think you really could have like taken it over or really brought it up to whatever it could have been, something along those lines. And so I followed up with him in an email after I had sent the text saying I'm not going to buy the office. So I sent him this message. I said, I hope this finds you well. I wanted to touch base regarding an important matter that's been on my mind lately. After reviewing some yearly revenue documents, I've discovered that I haven't received the tips I earned over the last 3 years, which amounts to 2021, $630, 2022, $3,550, $2,955, 2024, $840, all totaling out to be $7,975. And I kind of told him, as you know, the Fair Labor Standard Act protects employees to their earned wages, including tips, and I'd like to request that these funds be included in my last paycheck, made available within the next 10 business days. I would really appreciate settling this matter amicably without needing to involve any further actions with the appropriate parties. Thank you for understanding. I look forward to your prompt response. And this email was sent out on August 11th, is when I sent out the email about the tips that I discovered in the screenshots that he sent me. So he follows up August 14th. Trey, everything in my Atlanta office collected was paying for the expenses and payroll of that office. You will be receiving your pay and the hours you worked when the last payroll check goes out. The future plans of the office are already in motion, as there could have been a different outcome. Good luck with your future endeavors. I wish you the best. Dr. Cipriano. August 14th, there we go. So August 16th, on a Friday, I message him back. This is the second and last email that I sent to him. I was like, hey, Dr. Joe, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to follow up on my previous request for the payment of tips that have been withheld over the past 3 years. Disappointed to receive your response stating that you will not provide the payment. And I went on to tell him about the Georgia wage and hour law, that you shouldn't have took the tips out If the withheld tips are not paid promptly, I will be compelled to file a formal complaint with the Georgia Department of Labor and will seek legal counsel to address this matter. I would prefer to resolve this issue amicably without further escalation. Please let me know how you intend to proceed with the payment of the outstanding amount of $7,995 within the next 7 business days. Failure to do so will leave me with no choice but to pursue formal channels to recover the funds owed to me. And that's the last email that I sent to Dr. Joe on August 16th. Yeah, it's cool. So in September, I filed through the Cobb County Courthouse a civil lawsuit against Dr. Joe. And then it was a long fall. So I filed in September through the Cobb County courts, just a judgment against him for the $8,000. And then I had to get papers served to Florida because he lives in Tampa. I had to get papers served to his office, letting him know that there was an open case now, and never heard anything back. Didn't hear anything from him or a lawyer or anything like that. So then I waited for them to respond. They had a certain amount of days to respond to the lawsuit. They never responded. And then, so after a certain amount of days, the court finally updated everything, and that there would be a judgment in a court case. So that was all the way from September until March. So then March 12th of 2025, had to present all my evidence that he owes me money and didn't pay me this money in front of a judge, all this evidence, all the paperwork and stuff like that. March 12th, he didn't show up, nobody shows up, so it's a default judgment. I win the case. So basically they hand you this sheet of paper and they're like, here you go figure out how to get your money from this guy. So after that, I sent him the default judgment. I sent him this letter, certified mail, to his office. He signs for it. This was, I don't even know when, 15 days from March 12th. So I sent this out right after the court case. Don't hear anything. And then I send him another letter to his house, letting him know that now that you didn't respond, you haven't paid me, there's going to be a lien taken out against him and his business until that amount of money is paid. So now I have to go through the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department and the court system in Florida. So I have to go through them, have them serve him the lien to his house, and then basically that lien is put on him, and I guess we just wait for him to pay. But after everything from August until now, it's been more of a headache than anything. Like, this dude makes a lot of money through YouTube. He has a big following. He could easily just pay me the money. It's only it's a lot of money. It's more of just a principle. Like, who else are you gonna do this to? At this point, I'm not worried about the money, but you're gonna pay me the money because you owe me the money. You gave me 10 days to figure out how to get a new job. You put a lot of mental, physical, emotional stress on me, my family. Yeah, I'd say the $8,000 is a little low in my opinion, especially after talking to some lawyers and stuff that said I should have probably gone a little bit higher. But I mean, I was trying to build up my new practice at Vaughn Chiropractic in Ackworth. So I had more of a headache than anything trying to build up new patients, because I reached out to my malpractice insurance. I told them, hey, my boss, he's shutting down the office. Do we need to give them a notice? Let the patients know? They're like, yeah, usually you want to give a 60-day notice that you're going to be closing your office down. You need to maintain the records, send down an email or contact them however you want to let them know that you'll be closing the office down. You need to let them know a location that you might be going to or a nearby chiropractor that they could seek care from, because you can't just cut them off. It's abandonment. Dr. Joe did none of that. Didn't let anybody know that the office was shutting down. I've had like 10 to 15 patients come to my new office and they're like, what happened? I tried to schedule and you weren't there. Nobody told me anything. They just wanted me to come to Florida to the other office. I'm like, yeah, because he didn't say anything. He didn't tell anybody. So the main thing is principle about getting this money back. If I wouldn't have found another job or been able to kind of reach out, do my own thing, it would have screwed me even more. But the main thing is, who's going to go work for Dr. Joe in Florida? Are they going to get screwed over like this too? That's a good question. So the main thing I want to do with this video is just kind of put this out there, let people know what happened, why the office just abruptly shut down, be in the dark about this, because it's just shady. Like, bro, wake up. Especially since he has such like a cult following. I wouldn't even say a cult following. Just people think he's like the best chiropractor ever, bro. So the main thing is, yeah, I don't know if you want to share this, like it, subscribe. If you subscribe to my channel, that would be amazing, because that just helps me out, helps me spread the word. And then just gonna kind of be posting a lot of different stuff. If you're interested in coming back under care, I'm at Vaughn Chiropractic up in Ackworth, Georgia. The phone number is 770-443-0090. And I'm gonna post the website too. You can find me there. We're not doing the Y-strap, but we have a lot of different modalities that we use at the office. I also offer SoftWave. Still got my SoftWave machine up there. If any of you are interested in that, I still have it. And if you could tell, if you're a previous patient, if you could tell some of your friends, if you live around the Atlanta area, up northwest Atlanta, would love to be your chiropractor. But like, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Just spreading the word that Dr. Joe owes me $8,000, and we'll see what happens. But that lien should be coming up soon, unless he pays me before then. But yeah, that's about it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night. Go Pacers.
you.